Hey guys, welcome to Global Eye, where we will be talking about geopolitics, geoeconomics, and other important topics from across the globe. Today, we are going to talk about the recent historic Russian-Indian oil deal. The deal? Russia's Rosneft has signed a $13 billion annual crude oil supply agreement with Indian downstream giant Reliance Industries, committing to supply 500,000 barrels per day for 10 years. This deal constitutes 0.5% of the global oil supply and is the largest ever commercial agreement between Russia and India. Facing Western sanctions on its oil sector, Russia is actively seeking alternative clients. India has become its largest oil importer since the 2022 invasion of Ukraine, benefiting from discounted crude prices of $3 to $4 per barrel. Reliance will receive approximately 20 to 21 Aframax-sized cargoes of crude and 3 fuel oil cargoes per month at its Jamnagar refinery. The pricing will be market-driven for the first year. Reliance will now account for around 50% of Rosneft's seaborne exports, increasing its intake from an average of 388,500 barrels per day in 2024 to 405 barrels per day in 2025. It follows Defense Minister Singh's visit to Moscow, where he praised their friendship as higher than the highest mountain and deeper than the deepest ocean, and precedes Putin's trip to India next year. Key takeaways. 1. Reliable revenue and accelerated growth. Russia will receive reliable budgetary revenue, while India's growth will accelerate from the large-scale import of discounted oil, thus enabling the first to better manage sanctions pressure, while the second will approach its goal of becoming the world's third largest economy at a faster pace. This decade-long arrangement also creates a solid basis for diversifying from their strategic partnership's hitherto military centricity, and it's possible that some of Russia's forthcoming profits could be reinvested inside India. 2. Russia's South Asian energy pivot. The above-mentioned trend is part of Russia's South Asia energy pivot, which also includes Afghan and Pakistani dimensions. The Kremlin plans to preemptively avert potentially disproportionate dependence on China by relying on the South Asian market, with India at its core, as a counterbalance. RT importantly informed their audience that the New Deal reportedly accounts for roughly a half of Rosneft's seaborne oil exports from Russian ports. 3. OPEC Plus probably won't mind all that much. Oilprice.com wrote that the deal could cause friction among OPEC Plus members as Russia encroaches on Gulf producers' market share in India. But while Russia is now India's top oil supplier at around 1/3 of its needs, that still leaves the other 2/3 for Saudi Arabia and the UAE to fill. Moreover, Russia isn't their competitor in the ASEAN, European, or Japanese markets. Those two Gulf kingdoms' leaders have excellent personal ties with Putin, and their bilateral relations with Russia are close too. Number 4, Trump isn't expected to sanction India. Trump's grand strategic goal is to unite Russia and China in order to more effectively contain the latter, to which end it serves U.S. interests for Russia to rely more on India as a counterweight to China. If he imposes any oil-related sanctions, it might be on China to reduce Russia's supply to it, not on India. Number 5, China's basement bargain price demands backfired. The basement bargain prices that China reportedly began to demand after February 2022 in exchange for clinching a deal on the long-negotiated Power of Siberia 2 gas pipeline shocked Russian policymakers since they conformed to hitherto unbelievable Western reports about that country's exploitative nature. To be sure, relations are at a historic high, and bilateral trade has never been better. But this bitter experience led to the Kremlin preferring India over China as Russia's most strategic energy partner. Summary. The historic Russian-Indian oil deal is a new milestone in these two's decades-long strategic partnership. It proves that their relations are enduring and expanding in spite of external pressures. It also comes amid declining Russian oil exports, which dropped by 120,000 barrels per day to 7.33 million barrels per day in November. Despite a 7% decline in revenue, Russian oil revenues remain higher than anticipated at $14.566 billion. Just as importantly, it also disproves speculation that Russia is leaning towards China at India's expense in the Arctic Triangle, which forms the core of BRICS and the SCO. To the contrary, Russia is now very clearly leaning closer towards India, though this isn't at China's expense, nor will it ever be. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you found the video informative. See you again later.